Today we got two of the newest ceramic detailers on the market going head to head. The Armour Detail Supply Amplify and the new 3D GLW line ceramic detailer. Amplify comes in at $14.99 for a 16-ounce bottle. Claims up to 2 months of durability, and the label mentions that it can be used as a drying aid or as a standard spray and wipe detailer. The bottle itself is a thick, dark frosted plastic with a modern, simple, and tasteful label. The 3D ceramic detailer is the more expensive product at $19.99 for 16 ounces. It does have no durability claim on the label, and it makes no mention of using it as a drying aid, but we will test this when we go out to the vehicle. Now, similar to Amplify, the bottle is a rigid frosted plastic, but it's not rounded at the top, which does make it a little more difficult and uncomfortable to hold, especially with the smaller spray nozzle that it does come with. So preparation is one of the most important steps when it comes to applying any kind of protection. So I'll start off with a higher pH degreasing snow foam, let it sit and rinse it off to knock off any of the big debris. Then I'll go in with the same soap, especially if it's a dirty vehicle like this, for my contact wash to get the paint as clean as I can. After you thoroughly wash the vehicle, you're going to want to do your chemical and mechanical decontamination stage. For this, I'm going to be using the Adams iron remover. Simply just spray it onto the surface, let it sit for a few minutes, and it'll help remove any of those embedded iron fallout and iron contamination particles in the clear coat. You don't want to let it dry on the surface, and make sure that you thoroughly rinse after you are done. For my mechanical or the physical decontamination stage, I'm going to be using the Rag Company's scrubber. It uses the synthetic clay material on it, and I love this product because I can just use my same bucket of the clean soapy water as my clay lubricant. What I will do is use a panel prep spray, and for this I'm using the Jack's Wax Shield Prep. It's a pretty good prep spray, has a lot of lubrication, and you can kind of see it suds up a little bit. It's really good at removing polish and compound residues, but yeah, that's what we're using for this part. The first test is going to be using the products as a spray and rinse. Using the Amplify first, shake it up, spray it onto the wet panel. As you can see, the panel was completely flat. There was no hydrophobic properties. There's a little bit at the top, but overall it doesn't seem to be doing that much. The water is kind of sheeting off, but it didn't make as big of a difference as I maybe would have thought. So I'm going to go and do a second round here. I'll let the product sit on there for a little bit longer. Yeah, definitely a little bit better. So I guess if you're going to use it as a spray and rinse, probably do 2 rounds, because that doing just the one spray and rinse didn't really do that much. All right, now I'll do the same thing to the other panel. As you can see, again, the water's flat, no hydrophobics. Using the 3D ceramic detailer this time. A couple sprays, and then we'll rinse it off. Definitely does a much better job than the Amplify did as a spray and rinse. Still nothing crazy, but you can definitely tell it did some work. After 2 applications of the 3D ceramic, this round definitely goes to the 3D. Now we're going to try both products as a drying aid. So first, we've got Armour on this passenger door. Spray it onto the wet panel and use your towel to dry it off. And then just buff it after that and you're good. It is pretty slick, and almost immediately you can tell that the product's on there and it's going to work. It's definitely a little bit more hydrophobic applied like this than it was as the spray and rinse. It's still nothing that great. I'll do the same thing with this back door, using the 3D couple sprays on the wet panel, and then dry it with a towel. This is a different towel than the one I use on the other door. The initial wipe it's not as slick as the Armour, but it is, you can tell it is there. And then again, it does seem that the 3D is a little bit more hydrophobic when using this method. Now we're going to apply the traditional method. A couple sprays on the panel, one on the towel. It goes on easy. I don't notice any streaks or anything. Feels pretty slick. Wipes off easy, no streaks. Same thing now with the other side of the hood, using the Armour detail. A couple sprays on the panel, spray on the towel. Again, the Armour does feel immediately more slick than the 3D does. Should be able to see as I hover over this line, on the left side is where the Amplify is, and then on the right side of that is the regular area. It does have a decent jetting effect where it does mask it a little bit. As I go over to the right, you can see the 3D ceramic doesn't fill in the swirls as much. And back over on that right side, you can see where the product is, but it doesn't, I don't think it does as good at darkening or filling in the swirls as the Amplify does. So it's the 3D side, there's the middle, and then here's over on the Amplify side. You can see it definitely has a bigger impact on the visual of the panel. So for the slickness, I'm using this Geon coating applicator, and this is the Amplify side right now. It does definitely have some slickness to it. It's not that bad, nothing crazy, but it is pretty good overall. Over onto the 3D side, the slickness is definitely not as much as the Amplify side, but it does make a difference for sure. So this definitely goes to the Amplify as well. Straight into hydrophobics. Got the garden hose over the Amplify side, and definitely a very hydrophobic product. The water is just falling right off the panel, beading and sheeting. Does a great job. Over on the 3D side, definitely does a good job too. I will say it does seem to take a little bit longer for the water to fall off the panel, but it's kind of splitting hairs. But yeah, like I said, if I had to pick one, I do think the Amplify is a little more hydrophobic. So I guess this kind of brings me to my final thoughts. Overall, if I was to pick one product, I would probably go with Amplify. Me personally, if I'm doing a spray and rinse, I'm probably not using a ceramic detailer. And as a drying aid, the Amplify does a good enough job to where I could still use it, and I would probably just end up putting a dry application over it when I'm done as well. But yeah, it does more to impact the visual, and it is a slicker product overall, so I would probably go with Amplify. Yeah, so thanks for watching, guys. If you like this newer style of video that I did with the voiceovers, just let me know. If you like the video, also please consider subscribing, liking, commenting, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.